Ma'am,
Yes po.
do you believe that Executive Order number 13 that was issued by the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was a mistake?
Yes po.
We will be asking first the presence of our former senator and the former secretary. Sir, thank you so much po for being a part of our committee hearing. Actually, hindi na po sana namin, hindi naman po required.
Thank you too for accepting us. I've been a member of this House for 10 years. Both in the interim batasan, the regular batasan, and the regular Congress after 1987 election.
Thank you so much, former senator and secretary and also former congressman. In deference to your being present here, we will be allowing the administrator of the Ceza, Secretary Katrina Ponce Enrile to deliver her opening remarks, no? Because we believe that our good senator is already 100. So, ma'am, after po ng inyo pong opening remarks, actually, we will be allowing both of you to be excused in this hearing because in deference to all the contribution of the former senator to this country, I believe that everybody will join me in the call that after which you can be excused. Thank you. Ma'am, now you are recognized, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. We would like to thank the Committee on Public Order and Safety and the Committee on Games and Amusement for inviting the Cagayan Economic Zone Authority as one of the resource speakers in today's hearing. I am here today with my father, Secretary Juan Ponce Enrile, the author of Ceza's Charter, RA 7922, which was enacted when he was a member of this august body as a congressman for the 1st District of Cagayan. We are grateful for this opportunity to be able to clarify a lot of misconceptions, wrong notions, and baseless allegations against Ceza and its locators that have been fed to the public. As the Administrator and Chief Executive Officer of Ceza, it is my great honor to inform the public of the nature of the interactive gaming operations of our locators within the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport, as well as Ceza's position on the recent pronouncement of our dear President, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during his 3rd State of the Nation address held last July 22, 2024. It will be a great disservice to the President and the rest of our stakeholders if Ceza is unable to clarify and distinguish our business from that of PAGCOR. Ceza is one with the nation and our President in the clamor to rid our country of the criminality brought by the Pogos. To this end, I want to categorically state that there are no Pogos in the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport. There never was and there never will be. Pogos are the exclusive creation of the past administration of PAGCOR. Ceza has the authority to conduct offshore iGaming operations since it can register enterprises organized or domiciled in the Philippines or any foreign country. Unlike Ceza, PAGCOR's charter does not include operations outside the jurisdiction of the Republic of the Philippines. PAGCOR's charter and authority is territorial to the country. Ceza, under its charter, is not only a gaming authority, it is a special economic zone as well. As a special economic zone and Freeport, Ceza has the power to approve, accept, accredit, and allow any local or foreign business, enterprise, or investment within the zone. Ceza's activities vary as we also have a seaport, a tourism-related activities, real estate development, trading, and we are also on the verge of developing an industrial park to accommodate manufacturing companies. We believe congressional and Senate hearings are in aid of legislation. Hence, we need to better understand the distinctions between Ceza's iGaming licensees and the interactive gaming support service providers and PAGCOR's Pogos. It is for this reason that I am here today, to shed some light on the pressing issues. Discernment of Pogo issues. Allow us to set the record straight. Number 1, Ceza takes exception to some quarters that have lumped up its licensees with that of PAGCORs. This cannot be farther from the truth. Wala pong Pogo sa Ceza. Again, there never was and there never will be. Number 2, unlike PAGCOR's Pogo, Ceza does not have any hubs. We barely have any infrastructure, much more a hub. Number 3, there has not been a single instance of crimes associated with Pogos under Ceza's watch. For more than 20 years that Ceza has been regulating and licensing iGaming and interactive gaming support service provider, it never had any instances of kidnapping, human trafficking, torture, scams, and murder. Number 4, are there positives to iGaming licensing and regulations? Yes. Taxes, jobs, real estate development, among others. Is there a way to enjoy the positives and get rid of all the negatives? Yes. I believe that should be our focus. Countless countries in Europe and North America have successfully evolved their licensing and regulatory environments. What makes them better than us? 5. Ceza's iGaming and interactive gaming support service provider model predates PAGCOR's Pogo by more than a decade. And yet, it has never had issues with criminality and social backlash. I believe that the distinction between Ceza and PAGCOR are some of the keys to our orderly regulation of iGaming. Some of the distinctions include, number 1, unlike PAGCOR, Ceza is not a gaming operator. It is focused on licensing and regulations, so it's not conflicted in its vision, operation, and business model. 2, unlike PAGCOR, Ceza was able to benchmark, establish, and develop its iGaming regulations over 2 decades. Ceza continues to improve on its regulations through global benchmarking and introduction of technologies to better manage its licensees. 3, unlike PAGCOR, Ceza, in coordination with the Bureau of Immigration, vets and issues its own working visa. This allows Ceza to closely monitor expatriates that come into the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport. Many of these expatriate workers have called the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport their home and have lived side by side in harmony with the local community. The simmering social discord that breaks out from time to time in Metro Manila between Chinese expatriate workers and the local population does not exist inside the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport. Perhaps the gradual arrival of expatriates in the Cagayan Freeport over the years made social assimilation relatively easier than the Metro Manila experience of massive influx over a relatively short period of time. 4. The industry is called iGaming for a reason. Online or internet takes primacy. It's the lifeblood of the industry. Ceza, through extensive benchmarking of other jurisdictions over the years, learned early on that it needs to manage that lifeblood. To do this, Ceza collaborated with its master licensor to build a dedicated data center for its iGaming and interactive gaming support service providers, as well as its dedicated internet service provider or ISP. The data center and ISP infrastructure helps ensure regulation of Ceza's licensees. The data infrastructure provides the capability to enforce cybersecurity, IP blocking, data flow tracing, geofencing, and blacklisting of applications, websites, and other data flows. Pagcor does not have this. 5. Unlike Pogos, each of Ceza's master licensors have an investment commitment of $100 million to help develop the zone. 6. Unlike Pogos, interactive gaming support service providers offer outsourced services to credible foreign gaming companies that lawfully operate in different offshore markets. We call them locators because they locate within the confines of the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport, where we are able to closely monitor them as well as enforce our IRRs. 7. Pagcor's Pogos practically operate wherever they want in the Philippines. How can Pagcor effectively monitor these Pogos when they are nationwide? Instead of being secured within the confines of a jurisdiction like Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport, Pagcor has allowed the proliferation of Pogos literally everywhere. Parang COVID-19 virus na kumalat. 8. Unlike Pogos, our interactive gaming support service providers are merely providers and do not accept pets. 9. Unlike Pogos, we do not allow sub-licensing. 10. Unlike Pogos, our iGaming and interactive gaming support service providers licensing is based on our charter and IRR. One company, one license. Pogos have a sub-licensing structure that is disadvantageous to Pagcor. Pogo's sub-licensing model also allowed all these fly-by-night and scam operators to proliferate as Pagcor is no longer able to track how deep the sub-licenses go. 11. Unlike Pogos, our gaming and interactive gaming support service providers, taxation is based on our charter and IRR. Pogos evolved into a new business model like per square meter share of license fees. This digression has encouraged operators to maximize office and residential spaces and fill them to the brim. Such setups further triggered social tension and backlash. Parang COVID ulit. Wala nang social distancing. Instead of the virus, criminality ang kumalat, social backlash ang side effects. 12. Unlike Pogos, our interactive gaming support services providers do not have tens of thousands of foreign workers because Ceza controls the working visa issuance and physical entry into the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport. It can control the ratio of Filipino to expatriate employees. All interactive gaming support service providers are encouraged to prioritize local talent. The average interactive gaming support service providers Filipino to expatriate employment ratio is 70% Filipino, 30% expatriates. Background on Ceza's iGaming and support services licensing and regulations. I hope this august body will bear with me as I need to explain the evolution of Ceza's iGaming operation and why some quarters mistakenly blame Ceza for the rise of Pogos. The Cagayan Economic Zone Authority, or Ceza, is a government-owned and controlled corporation created by virtue of Republic Act number 7922, otherwise known as the Cagayan Special Economic Zone Act of 1995. It is tasked to manage and supervise the development of the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport in order to create job opportunities and attract investments therein. The Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport of Cagayan covers the whole municipality of Santa Ana, Cagayan, which is situated in the northernmost tip of the Philippines, and with a land area of about 54,000 hectares, which is the same size of Singapore. Ceza is empowered to operate directly or indirectly or license to others tourism-related activities, including games, amusements, horse racing, dog racing, gambling, casinos, and all forms of gaming. Ceza enjoys independence from PAGCOR and other agencies of the national government in terms of licensing and regulation of gaming within its covered jurisdiction. In 2001, interactive gaming was emerging as a new class of gaming globally. In the early years of iGaming, the major players in the industry were Antigua, Belize, Dominica, Curacao, Isle of Man, Gibraltar, Malta, Alderney, and Kanawaki. The succeeding years saw the fast growth of the iGaming industry as many individuals turned to the internet to bet on sports, gamble on slots, and play licensor structure. In 2003, Ceza issued the first master license to First Cagayan Leisure and Resort Corporation to kickstart the interactive gaming operations in the Cagayan Freeport. The master licensor acts as the technical, marketing, and monitoring arm of Ceza. Ceza also required the master licensors to commit to investments of at least $100 million in 10 years to help ensure the sustainable development of the Cagayan Special Economic Zone and Freeport. The work of the master licensor under Ceza represents a successful government-private company partnership. The Partnership for Licensing and Regulating Online Gaming allows government to offer the services in an efficient and cost-effective manner, which can produce immediate and significant results. The master licensor continues to underwrite its costs of marketing and promoting the jurisdiction, including the costs involved in background checks for licensed applicants. The master licensor is tasked to help in the regulation of online gaming without any expense to the government and invest in the Freeport to build the necessary infrastructure needed by its licensees. Ceza, in partnership with the master licensors, built the required infrastructure for iGaming in the Cagayan Freeport and formulated rules and regulations for iGaming. Together, Ceza and the master licensors established the Cagayan Freeport as the iGaming gateway to Asia. When the interactive gaming industry in Ceza started in 2003, it was very peaceful and orderly. Everybody knew everybody, and we were actually taken as a gaming jurisdiction very seriously. Ceza established itself as the first interactive gaming jurisdiction in Asia and stood at the forefront of regulatory innovation. We were known in the global gaming industry. In fact, Ceza used to be a member of the International Association of Gaming Regulators. The intention was to attract established and credible gaming operators in Europe and North America to outsource their services, the services they require to service providers located in Ceza. The foreign companies became Ceza's iGaming licensees, while the local service providers became Ceza's interactive gaming support service providers. The Ceza iGaming business model was a straightforward service business model. In 2005, there was still no infrastructure in our economic zone, no buildings, no facilities, nothing. We had the idea and the opportunity, but we lacked the facilities. Hence, at the interim, Ceza entered into a memorandum of agreement with PAGCOR, allowing Ceza locators to operate outside the Cagayan Freeport. The said MOA identifies the locations of the interactive game and support service However, the MOA was not implemented because of the opposing positions of acceptance of bets from the Philippines. As a matter of policy, Ceza does not allow bets from the United States and the Philippines to prevent proliferation of gambling in the Filipino citizenry. This was the assurance given by Ceza to the Archdiocese of Tuguegarao, Cagayan, when the issue of gambling was raised prior to the commencement of operations. On the other hand, PAGCOR wanted the interactive gaming support service providers to accept bets from the Philippine territory. This was the disagreement during the implementation of the MOA, resulting in a deadlock and prevention of carrying out the provisions of the MOA. During the time of PAGCOR Chairman Bong Nagyat, he started toying with the idea of allowing the same kind of gaming to happen within PAGCOR's jurisdiction. It is in direct competition with Ceza, but with a certain advantage that they can also take bets within the country. It was operationalized in 2013 after PAGCOR and Prime Investment Korea Inc.
Excuse me. Quiet please, quiet while nagsasalita po yung ating mga resource person. Please maintain yung pong ating pong habang meron po tayong nagde-deliver ng kanyang pong opening remarks. Please, go ahead ma'am.
It was operationalized in 2013 after Pagcor and Prime Investment Korea Inc. or PIKI had entered into an agreement allowing the operation of gaming tables equipped with high-definition cameras, voice-over internet protocol facilities, and other internet data facilities in Midas Hotel. Later on, the operation spread to Soler, City of Dreams, Resorts World, and then Okada. In 2017, former President Duterte issued Executive Order EO number 13, mandating all gaming and all gaming related activities to operate inside the territorial jurisdiction of the authority that issued the license. In compliance with EO 13, all Ceza interactive gaming support service providers were allowed to operate in specific areas in Manila, were directed to relocate to the Cagayan Freeport. At that time, Ceza had approximately 300 interactive gaming support service providers and IG licensees. In the same year, the Pagcor officially institutionalized the term Pogo, which means Philippine Offshore Gaming Operation. Initially, Pagcor Chairman Andrea Domingo was supposed to give Pogo licenses to just 25 operators, but she eventually expanded it. Obviously, they were already dictating the rules on how offshore gaming was to be operated. With all the iterations and mutations from the original concept, it actually transformed into something else that was not anymore reflective of what was being done within Ceza. A massive exodus of licensees and interactive gaming support service providers left Ceza's jurisdiction to Pagcor's jurisdiction, which started to happen during the time of President Benigno Aquino III and exponentially grew during the time of President Rodrigo Duterte's term. From Ceza's 300 interactive gaming support service providers and IG licensees, Ceza was down to approximately 30. Definitely, Ceza at that point could not compete because we were strictly abiding by our mandate in our charter. Until now, we have never deviated. We are still operating the same way as before. In 2018, after the exodus of licensees from Ceza occurred, criminality involving Pogos started to occur. This was confirmed by former Pagcor Chair Andrea Domingo during Senate hearing last July 29, 2024 in the committee chaired by Senator Ontiveros. Such criminality likely occurred due to the absence and fundamental regulatory conditions of Pagcor when it started to regulate offshore gaming. As admitted by the former Chair Domingo, they were still studying how to regulate online gaming when they launched Pogo, which was a flawed replica of Ceza's iGaming structure. The question that was begging to be answered is, why did Chairman Andrea Domingo authorize the operations of Pogo when they were still studying how to operationalize it? Ceza interactive gaming licensees. The definition of gambling has three basic elements: consideration, chance, and price. If at least one of these elements is missing, the activity is not gambling. Gambling can be divided into three basic formats based on style of play: lotteries, wagers, and gaming that are vetted and then authorized by Ceza to engage interactive gaming. For clarity, these companies domicile and operate out Exchange Commission and the Bureau of Internal Revenue. and then authorized by Ceza offshore markets. For clarity, these countries where iGaming is not allowed, Ceza requires its iGaming licensees to observe IP and financial blocking of attempted access from the Philippines. Number 4, Ceza, in partnership with one of its master licensors, built a telecommunication infrastructure in the Cagayan Freeport consisting of an 80-kilometer fiber optic network connecting the Cagayan Freeport to a submarine landing station, a microwave data facility, and a redundant fiber optic backbone, a cyber park, and a data center facility. An international airport was also built to bring in investors and guests to the Cagayan Freeport. 5. The iGaming activities of Ceza do not in any way negatively affect, influence, nor contribute to the proliferation of gambling activities in the Philippines, since no bets are allowed to be taken by the iGaming licensees and their gaming websites are blocked and cannot be accessed in the Philippines. The interactive gaming support service providers do not engage in gambling. Despite the exodus of licensees to PAGCOR, Ceza remains steadfast in its commitment to provide sound regulatory framework anchored on fairness, honesty, transparency, integrity, and responsible conduct of interactive gaming to enhance integrity of the industry and provide protection to the players, investors, and most especially to the local community. Ceza continues to improve its regulations by strictly implementing its IRR and introducing new technologies to help enhance compliance. In fact, we have been working very closely with the Anti-Money Laundering Council. I am proud to say that we are among the agencies that were tasked to get the Philippines out of the gray list. Ceza is one of the agencies that has been able and has managed to comply with the requirements early on because we are closely monitoring and educating all our locators regarding AMLAC rules. Ceza intends to grow its share of the global iGaming market, which Statista projects to reach $97.70 billion in 2024. iGaming revenue is expected to show an annual growth rate, compounded annual growth rate from year 2024 to year 2029 of 6.46%, resulting in a projected market volume of $133.60 billion by the year 2029. Lastly, to the issue of the presence of 10 offshore operating gambling areas near EDCA sites in Cagayan, may we clarify that there is only one EDCA site within the zone. The other EDCA site is also in the province of Cagayan but located in Lalo. The service provider inside Ceza has been in the zone before EDCA was signed and way before the determination of EDCA sites. Hence, it would be safe to assume that the military knows of the presence of gaming service providers, and despite this knowledge, they still chose an area inside Ceza to be one of their EDCA sites. This shows their confidence that the area is safe and secured. It is our fervent hope that the ills and evil that the President rightly sought to end with his decisive action to ban Pogos will not be to the detriment of Ceza. Such menacing activities, mind you, happening outside our jurisdiction were wrought not only by the criminal designs of syndicates but also clearly by failure, if not total breakdown of regulation. Why should our people in the impoverished calamity-prone corner of our country whose only hope for growth is Ceza's primordial reason for being the one to suffer. We have been quietly doing our bidding, trying to innovate up to make up for the other disadvantages that our area has to overcome. Ninakaw na sa amin ang idea, binago ang anyo at ginawang mga pugad ng kriminalidad, tapos di pala nila kayang kontrolin. Tapos kami pa ngayon ang pilit na idinadamay at sinisisi sa hindi namin ginawa. Utang na loob, wag naman po sanang ganyan. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you so much. Before the chair will comment on your 20-minute opening remarks, which, by the way, is educational, informative, and with those historical values, no? I would like my co-chair to acknowledge first the members who were present, no? While you were delivering your opening remarks, some members were contemplating on to excuse the former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile in deference on his age and the contribution to this country. But I was able to find out the importance of these remarks that you have manifested in this hearing, and it opens a lot of loopholes. I think if the members will agree with me that I don't know the sentiments of the members, but if you're going to ask me, I think it's better for Ma'am Katrina to stay and to find out, no? Kasi, ang ganda po ng mga nadinig ko the one company, one license, compared to the PAGCOR na maraming subs license, and the service provider that are being contracted by the Ceza, and at the same time, ito pong interactive gaming license that are being used by the Ceza compared to the internet gaming license that being used by the PAGCOR. And at the same time, siguro, Madam Katrina, I'll be asking you one question. Isa lang.
Yes po.
And then I'll be letting all the members to decide whether we will be allowing the former senator. Dahil nga po, alam naman po natin that we don't know, ma'am, kasi baka dito may mga sipon, may mga sakit. Mahawa pa po natin si Senator. And of course, we have to respect our former senator. Marami na po siyang contribution dito sa ating bansa, and sana naman po ay humaba pa ang kanyang buhay. Ma'am,
Yes po.
do you believe that Executive Order number 13 that was issued by the former President Rodrigo Roa Duterte was a mistake?
Yes po.
Okay. Because all the powers was transferred to PAGCOR.
Yes po.
Okay. Maraming salamat po doon sa honest answer po ninyo. And as a matter of fact, yung pong sa Ceza and the old economic zone is not germane on the topic that we are discussing. And it was manifested already by Congressman Paduano during the last hearing. And I believe that I think it's all up to you. You're going to share more on the importance of the offshore gaming that was conducted by Ceza since
2003 po.
2003 and contributed to the Philippine economy.
Yes po.
I think it is imperative for you to be a part of the discussion. But, of course, you have to, consider po natin yung pong posisyon ni Senator Juan Ponce Enrile.
He can make also a statement if you want po.
Yes, we will. But, ma'am, because I have followed your I was about to stop you. I was about to stop you a while ago. Because marami ako nadidilig na haba na. But when I followed your statements, nakita ko yung mga difference between PAGCOR and the Ceza.
Kinompleto ko po. Para
And of
very
course,
clear.
we wanted, I believe that a lot of members wanted to ask questions for us to compare the PAGCOR procedures and the procedure of the Ceza. And you can help us. And you can even help the government with this. Diba? We can clean, no? The operation of not the Pogo, but originally it was called by Ceza as what?
It originally, iGaming po. It's been iGaming.
iGaming.
Yes po.
And then this was renamed by PAGCOR as Pogo.
Yes po. And then later on, they also copied and they said it was IGLs as well. The difference po is we go back to our charters, if I may. Like I said, in the most crucial part is PAGCOR's charter is territorial, which means they can only take bets within the country. They themselves have violated their own charter.
And that I heard as well a while ago.
Yes po.
And that's the reason why it took my personal attention when you were like mentioning everything in this opening remarks. And it is incumbent upon the members of these two committees to decide if we're going to allow Ma'am Katrina to be present on our discussion. And I don't know if syempre kailangan si Katrina ng kanyang tatay pag well, what's the pleasure of the members? Let's hear first the good senator, no? Pakinggan muna natin. Gusto niyo muna pakinggan ng ating former senator?
Bukas na.
Sir,
Thank you, Mr.
you're
Chairman,
recognized.
for allowing me to participate in this proceeding. I would like to start by saying that the other day, I was in a meeting in the cabinet and we were discussing a policy question about our security. And I asked, I will explain to you why I asked later on. I asked the question, if 1 month from now, we are faced with a situation where we have to go to war against any of our neighbors, can we raise an army to defend this country and safeguard the lives, property, and freedom of the Filipino people? I ask the same thing with you as legislators, because that is the essence of your responsibility. Nobody answered the question. Ceza was not only an economic project, it's a part of the security of this country. Until today, that is the norm. And I do not know why people want to destroy it. I created that upon the behest of the president then. He sent me around the country to find places in the country that can be developed economically so that we can spread the risk of economic development in case of calamity or in case of a war. And we identified Kasambalangan, which is now Port Irene. We identified Diwan. We identified Zamboanga. We identified Antique. We identified several others, so that the economic development of the country is balanced, and if something happens in one place, it will not affect the others. What are you doing today in this country? You're bunching all the development in the western part of the country. Put all the money of the people that are starving to pay their taxes in a risky place of this country. In case of war, the western part, western flank of this country will be blockaded. All those investments will go to naught, and the people will starve to death. Can you imagine that? That area is the anchor of the safety and national security of the country, to protect it. We have no enemy that can attack us from the east. We have no, our enemies may come from the south, from the southwest, from the west, from the northwest, and none in the east and the north. So when we do our things as legislators, I'm leaving you. I might be dead tomorrow. I will not care, but you have to care about your children and grandchildren. You must always think of country first. How to provide them with their livelihood and how to keep them safe from other countries. Every country around us is our enemy, potential enemy. No exception. And that's why, may I beg those who have in their minds to destroy Ceza, please stop it. There is a purpose for Ceza. Until today, that purpose is being pursued. That's all the message that I want to leave you.
Thank you, sir. Rest assured that every member of this committee will bear in mind that country first. Yun din po ang aming pinaglalaban dito, that we will be fighting for this country. This is the only country that we have. And basically, napag-usapan po yung Ceza, the APAB, and the PECO. And now we will be, actually, medyo hindi na po siya germane doon sa pinag-uusapan natin sa PAGCOR. But we have seen that the IGL, which is the interactive gaming license that was issued by Ceza, is just a part of the whole economic package of Ceza and all other economic zone, and thereby the project, which is highly regulated and territorial. With that, we agree with the good senator, the purpose of trying to scatter the economic zone in the different part of the country. But our discussion will only focus on the ills of these Pogos. And if the Ceza and all other economic zone have a good template on how to do it, then it is incumbent upon us and upon you to discuss it thoroughly for us to understand how it works. You know? And yes, I follow your statement, Madam Katrina. And with your indulgence, I think we need your expertise. No? And we will see. Along the way, we will see if there are some violations or there are some perfection of the actual operation. Then we will be guided accordingly. So, Madam Senator Juan Ponce Enrile, we know your vision, and we are very thankful. And with this, I think I will be asking the members what is the sentiment of our members with regards to the presence of our good senator. Chairman. Yes, Deputy Speaker Albano, please.
Thank you, Chairman Dan. First and foremost, magandang umaga. Mr. Senator, you are our idol in Region 2, coming from Isabela. You are our true leader there, and we always follow what you say. Bilib po ako sa sinabi nyo dahil totoo po yung sinabi nyo, yung Ceza po is a very important hub and industry for the Philippines and especially for Region 2. And we need your expertise po. At alam ko po, God will grant you more years to come to guide not only the legislature but the Philippines, because Ceza is bringing a lot of benefits, not only in billions as Secretary Katrina has stated, but because it also involves the many jobs that have been given to Region 2, especially Cagayan and Isabela.
Mission, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir, you're recognized.
Nung dumating dito ang mga Amerikano, paano nila na-capture itong Pilipinas? Dinakade nilang Manila Bay. Sino yung admiral ng Espanya, hindi makagalaw.
Diwi.
Kung magkagerra at i-blockade magmula sa Palawan hanggang sa pasukin ang Pilipinas, anong puerto ang open para umandar ang ekonomiya ng Pilipinas?
Ceza po.
Wala.
Ceza.
Maybe if you can develop something in the Bicol region to access the Pacific. Ceza is the most strategic port for this country. That area from Pagudpud all the way to Casiguran in Isabela, that portion is an area that can support 50 million Filipinos economically. That's how important that is. And there is no one that can attack it. And that is why we have to develop that
House
as a
Deputy
place to
Speaker,
repair our
Second
government
District Representative
and our people, some of them,
JJC Suarez,
in case of war. In fact,
and
even the Japanese who
House
invited
Leader
us.
and Manila
who
First
invaded
District
us.
Representative Ernesto
Thought of
Ernix M. Dionisio Jr.
that place was an exit point.
Young Guns.